Welcome to the Confident and Courageous Clarity Podcast with me, Jateya Jones. Join us weekly for everything clarity. The truth is, once you have clarity, you'll have the confidence and courage to succeed in life and business. If you're new to the podcast, you should know my goal is to help you gain the clarity needed to transform your visions, goals, or dreams into reality. For my OG listeners, you all know that the podcast was birthed from the evolution of Mocha Monday's Tip of the Week. So when we moved to the podcast, I couldn't just leave you without your mocha. Therefore, at the beginning of each episode, I give you your drop of mocha, and you are to implement it throughout the week to help inch you closer and closer to clarity. This week's drop of mocha is: magic happens when you believe in yourself. You have to believe. Once your mind sets its sights on something, everything else in you will follow. Your body, like if you want to drink a sip of water, your mind literally has to say, hand, pick up the bottle and drink. So again, magic happens when you believe. Take the limits off yourself and start believing today. Now let's get into this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Confident and Courageous Clarity Podcast with me, Jateya Jones. This week's episode, lessons given and learned from my Snickerdoodle. If you've been following me for a minute, you know my Snickerdoodle is my nephew, and he is now 5 years old. And I was thinking about some of our recent conversations because he is freaking hilarious. And there were a few things and lessons that I've given him and that he's taught me. Number one, the lesson that I've been teaching him since he was quite young, because he wanted to be bigger, taller, and he wanted to do this and he wanted to do that, and he was so ready. And I was like, try again. Because of course, until you try, you can't be ready. Let me say that again for my perfectionist. Until you try, you can't be ready. Until you try, it won't be perfect. Perfecting is an action. It means to refine. You do, you perfect. You do, you perfect. That's the only way you're going to know if it's done right, if you need to add more, if you need to take more away. Thinking about it and creating stuff without doing and implementing, it's never going to be perfect. So I need you to try again, okay? And become a recovering perfectionist. At least that's what me calls myself, is a recovering perfectionist. So that was lesson number one. Try again. And I know for my perfectionist, it's like, but it needs to be this, and it needs to be and because I've been there. I thought the same things. But what I'm here to tell you is that's garbage compared to what it will be if you actually try. If you actually put it out there, if you actually serve, if you actually educate. That's the only way anybody's going to be able to tell you whether or not it's really helping them. And people buy results. They don't buy products, programs, services, brand colors, logos. Yes, that stuff helps, but that's not what they purchase. They purchase results. So, lesson number one, try again. Lesson number two, look good, feel good. That's how he says it. Look good, feel good. See if I can find that video to insert it here. What you supposed to say?
Say look good.
Look good.
Feel good.
Feel good.
Oh,
say it like you mean it.
Look good.
Look good, feel good.
Say it one more time.
Look good, feel good.
That's what I'm talking about. High five. Yeah. When you look good, you feel good. One, I know COVID has conditioned a lot of us to be uber comfortable because do you see it, girl? And these pigtails today. But I said I was going to show up, and I am. But I also made myself a promise just the other day that I need to start showing up in a way that I used to pre-COVID. I tell people all the time I will wear sequins every day if I could. And you guys probably have never seen that version of me because I got comfortable. And, or at least if you've only been following me for like the past, we've been in COVID almost 3 years, right? because I was like, oh, it's so much work to show up and that I don't have to go anywhere else. That's a waste of makeup. Boo, boo, boo. From this day forward, I am showing up how I feel deep down inside. And the reason why I bring this up is because for my multi-passionates, you guys really know we hardly ever show up how we feel deep down inside because we're too busy trying to make ourselves feel uncomfortable to make everybody else feel comfortable because we don't want the looks. Oh, there she go again. She's being extra. You're doing too much. You're all over the place. No, show up and show out. Because if you look good, you feel good. And that's how you show up in business. And that's how you show up for the people that you're called to serve. So, in the words of my Snickerdoodle, look good, feel good, feel good. So, that is lesson number 2. And lesson number 3, ask yourself why. If you can embody your inner toddler, you will truly get like a real answer. Because I know my friends that are parents, they're like, oh my God. And they just try to give like any answer. And that prolongs the conversation because I sit there like it's a comedy show and I'm sitting here kikiing because the kid is like, but why? But why? And they're so sincere. But the parents are so frustrated because they really thought they gave a real answer. But it's kind of like teaching someone how to tie their shoe or double digit subtraction. Have you done it? It's hard. It is really hard to get it down to such an elementary level that they understand. And those poor little snickerdoodles out there in the world, they're like, but I just want to know why. And it's so funny because the other day he was like, why do you always ask me if I understand? Because I want to make sure you understand. Because if not, TT needs to put it in a way that you actually do understand it. And he's like, okay. But ask yourself why, like at least 5 times. And that's when you'll get to the real purest answer that you understand, your customers will understand, and they'll be able to actually articulate that to anybody else in the purest fashion. And this is one of the reasons why. Someone was like, oh, I need a job. I was like, they're hiring at McDonald's. And they quickly was like, no, I meant a 6-figure job in like Cubeland, an office, windows. Um, and so they were very specific. And I was like, but why? You just said you needed a job. They're like, oh, because I need the flexibility to pick up my kids and the better insurance and da da da. Once I understood the why, like clearly, I could then go and bring them back what they really truly needed. And once you're able to articulate truly the purest level of your why, your ideal client will be like, yep, she gets it. Let me go give her my money. Right? So those are the 3 lessons learned and lessons given between my Snickerdoodle and I. Lesson number 1 is try again. You got to try to get anything close to perfection. You have to try. So my perfectionists in the world, stick your pinky toe in the pool and show up. In the words of Patrice Washington, it's called sloppy progress. And eventually it'll get to your standards, but it never will get to your standards if you don't try. So try again. Number 2, look good, feel good. I gotta show y'all that video. I have to find it. But look good, feel good. Because if you look good and you feel good, you'll show up that way. And you'll crush it every time. And you'll require people to level up to your level instead of you making yourself feel uncomfortable to be at theirs. And number 3, ask yourself why. Why? Until you get to the purest of answers. And then and only then will you be able to articulate your why so that others can articulate your why. Your ideal audience will understand and they'll come flocking. And you'll be able to show up and serve at the core of what your heart truly desires. So that's it for this week. I really wanted to share that with you. I recently spent some time with my Snickerdoodle. Him is absolutely amazing. And I learned something from him every time. And that was our most recent conversation topic. So Implement, tell me what you think, tell me how it works, tell me how you feel. And I hope that you have a marvelous, marvelous week and an even better, a marvelous, marvelous Monday and an even better week. Talk to you soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a review, comment on social media. Let us know what you think. What were your aha moments? Last but not least, we've officially reached halftime of third quarter. Have you started planning for 2023? If not, it's not too late. Download your Plan to Win Clarity Workbook today. Links in the show notes. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Confident and Courageous Clarity Podcast. I hope you'll come back next week and join us for some more. And I'll see you back here, same time, same place next week.